Hi everyone. So today is Sunday, August 4th. It is 7:56 a.m. and I'm feeling really good today. I went to bed around 9 and fell asleep at 9:30 and woke up 10 minutes before 6. So my sleeping strategy is working. So I'll tell you what my sleeping strategy is so you know. I just go to bed as early as possible that I can, like maybe 9:30. That's really early for me. I used to do shift work 'cause I used to finish at 2 or 3 in the morning. So that 9:30 a.m. bedtime was hard in the beginning, but I do that. And then I sleep though. I sleep as long as possible until I wake up. What I mean by that is I don't have an alarm and I wake up when my body feels well rested. And I want to tell you, ever since I got long COVID in October, I was waking up around like 10 a.m. every single day, sometimes even 11 a.m. So it really depended on the day and how I was feeling. So every day I was waking up like 10 or 11 a.m. So that was from October, and maybe June and July was the first time I started waking up a little bit earlier. So I think June I started waking up at 9, and then July I started waking up 8:30, sometimes 9. And this month, August, I started waking up around 6. So today was the earliest. Yesterday I actually woke up at 6:30. So there are big improvements, but I want to let you know I'm super congested right now. I woke up and I felt super congested. My immune system is on because yesterday I was working on a solar tracker. So what that is, it's a device that I'm creating out of photosensitive resistors, and that information gets sent to a computer, and then with those two resistors, the code that I wrote will determine where the sun is and will turn your solar panel to increase your harvest, hopefully by 25 to 40%. So that's what I was doing yesterday outside. So I'm congested, and I checked the AQI. It said 21, and it said it's fine even for sensitive individuals, but my immune system is on, and like histamines are going because of long COVID. And today I feel a little like icky, and the AQI, let's check that right now actually. The AQI for where I am, I know it's a little higher because looking through the window, the sunrise was orange. And usually when it's like has that orange tinge, it means that there's forest fire particulates in the air. So today it says 40, but I feel like it's worse. And let's see what the recommendations is. So 40. Usually it says something like sensitive people shouldn't go outside, but here it says 40. It's 2.5, the concentration. Oh, the PM 2.5 concentration is currently 1.4 times the WHO annual air quality guidelines. So, health recommendations are you can enjoy outdoor activities and open your windows to bring clean, fresh air indoors. And so for me, I'm super sensitive right now due to long COVID and central nervous system and blah. And yeah, when I woke up, I could feel it. I could feel the particulates flowing in from wherever, from being outside last night, building the solar tracker. And now I'm super congested. And when I woke up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can feel it in the air. None of the windows were open. We have air conditioning, so the air that comes in is filtered. We put a HEPA filter in front of it. So yeah, I am very sensitive now. That's not normal. I used to be like not so, I still was sensitive. I just wasn't as sensitive. So yeah, sorry. So back to the sleep. If this is annoying, let me know. I'm sorry. My brain is just like, with the long COVID, the ADHD is stronger than ever. It's made my executive functioning a little bit off. So, with the sleep, I would wake up, and now I'm waking up at 6 a.m., like I was saying. And what's been really helpful for me is taking ashwagandha. melatonin, 5-HTP, magnesium, bisglycinate, that one for sleep, and drinking a chamomile tea. And on my Fitbit, I tested it actually. I didn't drink it last night because I wanted to see what would happen. But you can see I've been drinking the chamomile tea since Monday, and the heart rate has dropped significantly. I didn't drink it last night, so it went up one, but I'm going to start drinking it again to see if it'll keep it low, because a resting heart rate is good. When your resting heart rate is low, your heart and your whole body can repair. You're not like overusing it while you're sleeping. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for sleep, and that sleep strategy has actually been helping me in terms of long COVID. Now, I know not everybody can sleep until like 10, and I feel very lucky that I can do that, and I'm lucky that, I'm a student right now, and I'm glad that I didn't have any like 9 a.m. classes. I moved everything around, so all of my classes, nothing was earlier than 12. So that's how I did it. So I just had longer days, not longer days, I had later days, but I would only go till 6, so I didn't really, I had less usable time. So I reduced what I could do. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about some long COVID symptoms, and so I'll list them all off, and then after I list them all off, I will say which ones I have, and I'll give you my experience, so that way there's more understanding. So I'll actually link this long COVID, living with post-COVID symptoms sheet in the description box. So that way you can look at it later, because if you're like me, sometimes you forget things. So this is in alphabetical order. Breathlessness is the first one. And then the next one is brain fog and cognitive issues. The third one is fatigue and pacing issues. Next one is the general recovery, like the length of time. Hair loss, headaches. I'm really glad I'm going over this, because there were I just knew about the neurological impacts, but I didn't know about all these other ones. I did lose hair. Oh my god. Heart health affected, your mental health is affected, post-exertional malaise, ringing in the ears, and taste and smell changes is what it's listed here. Okay, so we'll start with breathlessness. I had breathlessness for a while, for a very, very long time. And it was as if no matter how many deep breaths I took, or how intentional my breathing was, how connected my mind to body, to like the lungs and the diaphragm, how connected it was, I could never breathe deep enough. It was as if, like, say, if your lung capacity is regular 100%, when I wasn't focusing on it, it was like 50%, and then when I would focus on it, it'd be 75%. But it was still like such a hassle to breathe to 75%. So I had that. And when I would be breathing at night, for example, if I was on my back, like lying on my back like that, my chest would feel so heavy that I would have to lie on my side, so the weight of my chest wasn't on my lungs, and to lie on my side helped the lungs expand further because there was nothing on it, and my partner couldn't put his arm on me. Just everything, all the extra weight felt too much. So there was that, and sometimes at night, actually, it would scare me that I couldn't breathe. Like, I would breathe, and then I guess I would wake up because I'm like, oh my God, I'm not breathing deep enough, because it was so shallow, and then it would just wake me up. Like, I just felt like I didn't have enough oxygen all the time. But that did get better with time. And how did I fix that? Well, I fixed that by going on walks every day. And first I started with like a 10-minute walk. And during the 10-minute walk, I would look at my Fitbit breathe in deeply, walk slowly, and make sure the heart rate did not exceed 105. That was my goal, is like, because I was training, I was like, oh, I can't walk too far, I can't walk too fast, and I can't walk too long. So let's just start with something small and gentle. So yeah, I would walk like 10 minutes to the house next door that had a cat. Like, that was my goal. I'm like, don't go too far, just go to the house with the cat and back. Pet the cat as your break. So I did that as some of the first walks. I would walk for like 10 minutes or so, make sure that BPM was not higher than 110 and it wasn't tiring to me, so not too long, like 10 minutes. And then every day I would increase it, the distance and the length of time. And the reason I knew it was okay to increase it was because the BPM was during the walk wasn't rising. So as I got stronger, as I started using my muscles and breathing and everything, it became easier for me to walk longer. So I think they call that pacing. So yeah, that's how I knew I could walk longer, was I wasn't feeling tired. After 10 minutes, that was fine. Like, I wasn't feeling like exhausted, like I had to be on the floor. The BPM didn't exceed 110. Actually, it was starting to low, like 90 BPM. And then I increased it. So the next one, brain fog and cognitive issues. As you can tell and as you can hear and see, I am still having brain fog and cognitive issues. My sentences are going around in circles. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot to try to get the point across. But that is why I'm actually recording these videos. I would like to have a video diary and like a documentation to see like that I am improving, because it's just nice to look back on, like, hey, look how brain foggy I was. Look how I couldn't even find those words in that video, and now I can communicate way better. So, with brain fog and cognitive issues, it just says brain fog and cognitive issues, but let me tell you, for me, I'm at a loss for words sometimes, and so the way I envision it and the way I understand is I have a dictionary in my brain where the words are for describing things, and sometimes I have to pause. I have to take the time to find the words to connect to my mouth. And sometimes I will talk to someone and I'll say, oh, just give me a minute, I like lost the word for this thing that I want to describe. And the way I'm combating that is I'm saying, can you wait for a second? I want to try to find the word. I want to take the time to find the word, because, you know, it's still there. That dictionary is in my brain. It's still there. It's just the neural pathways have been eroded, I guess. So I just want to practice it so I can get those neural pathways better traveled, and it's easier. And, you know, since I have been doing that a lot and pausing and looking for those words, it has become easier, which is why I'm on YouTube now. Before, it was actually not... It was a long time to complete a sentence, okay? So other things with cognitive issues, my ADHD dysfunction is a lot stronger. So I guess this is all the same, brain fog, cognitive issues. I will forget things. Sometimes I'll be walking down my hallway. I'm like, I need to do this one task. And I'll go towards it and I'm like, oh, I'll like turn back. Like, oh, I forgot about this. I'm like, oh, I forgot. Like, I literally like be standing in the hallway, 2 steps forward. I'm like, oh, I need to go back, and 2 steps back. Like, I'm glitching. It's so weird. I don't normally do that. Sometimes I just walk into a room and I forget what I'm doing. But instead, it's like, okay, I'm just going to demonstrate it, okay? So I'm like that until I go, oh my gosh, my brain is glitching. Stop. What were you going to do? It's literally a brain malfunction. I'm so happy nobody got to see that, but I'm sharing it with you guys because that way you know about these symptoms. What else? So it doesn't say it here, but reading long texts, reading texts that require more comprehension or more specialization, say for example like an academic journal or like an encyclopedia article, it'll be harder. I would have to say my reading level has been reduced to not what it was before, but I'm practicing reading. So I'm reading more things, more books, more articles, and just taking my time and pausing. And if I don't understand a word, I will look in the dictionary so I can remind myself. So there's the reading. There's also math. So I'm a BSc in physics, and I'm in year 4. This is hurting my head. I'm in year 4. And so for me, math is not that difficult. It's something that I excel at, that I can understand, I can comprehend. But I found like simple arithmetic, like adding and subtracting, maybe dividing and even multiplying, quite difficult. I would not know how to do those things. And to me, that's a little scary because I'm doing physics. That's my degree. I'm almost done. And I forgot how to do that. So the way I'm combating that is I am using that Brilliant app I told you about, which is just math puzzles, and I'm doing it from the ground up, or rebuilding my math skills from the ground up. So algebra, calculus, everything. I'm doing it because I have school in September and that helps. The other thing with the brain fog is I feel like my brain is sort of slow to start now. So it's not in there, but so what I do to like warm up my brain is I'll do brain puzzles, and crossword is really good. I'll do Sudoku and word search, but I do those on like the easiest levels. And then now the easy levels are not so hard anymore. And I progressed to the next level. I've also progressed to other brain puzzles, and there are some on the New York Times that are really good, that require a little bit more thinking outside of the box. Oh, so another thing with cognitive issues is that it's hard for me to think too far ahead in time and planning. So I can plan, but they have to be simple. But when I think about like the day, like now I can think about my plan for the day. I can think about the plan for the next day. And just recently I've been able to think about plans for the next week. And it's not that, okay, so there's a few components there. One of them is I don't know how I'm going to be feeling the day of. So I wasn't able to make plans, but also cognitively, it was hard for me to understand. Like, it was hard for me to be like, oh, the next day is tomorrow. How should I plan? Like, just that idea of planning for the next day was hard. It was hurting my head, and that made me sad because I like to plan and achieve things. And if you don't plan your time, you waste time. I waste a lot of time. So that's why I naturally waste a lot of time, and that's why I need to plan, but then it was so hard to plan. So what I did to start planning again was I would put silly things into my calendar, like the Apollo 11 moon landing or my friend's birthday, into the calendar. Like, it didn't matter if I looked it up again, right? It's just the process of inputting. So I would do that, or I'd be like, oh, had a good day today, 2023 or 2024, put that in the calendar. Or I'd say, oh, it was hot today, like the temperature was this, 2024, just to get the neural pathways connected to inputting the calendar and using the calendar. And that seemed to have helped me when planning. And now I can refer to my calendar, and also referring to my calendar, I can see it on my Fitbit. So I've done a lot of steps. With the brain fog and cognitive issues. Another thing with the brain fog is I have lots of deep breathing all the time, like into the diaphragm. You want to feel your rib cage expanding, and 4-7-8 paced breathing to calm down the central nervous system. I started running again because that's like will help with the inflammation everywhere. And I think my brain fog is from inflammation. When I'm running, all of the blood is flowing, the lymph is flowing, I'm breathing really deeply, and slowly. I'm also not running very fast. I think the pace is like 13 according to my Fitbit, so it's slow. It's like jogging, slow jogging, and that has helped a lot with the brain fog as well. I feel as if whatever inflammation, wherever it's hiding, it's going away through the muscles just by like squeezing through running. Okay, so that's brain fog and cognitive issues. I do suffer a lot from that. The fatigue and pacing. Okay, so yeah, I had a lot of fatigue. There were times where I was on the floor because I was tired and I couldn't do anything. I had to lie on the floor. I remember even when I got my vaccine, I was on the floor. I had a really bad reaction to it. So what I'm doing with fatigue is, well, I should show you my diagnosis. But the way I see it is I have like 100 marbles in my head, and I only have 20 accessible marbles right now. And so that applies to cognitive things and also physical things. And I had to just make peace with I only have this many marbles right now. So I'm going to only function within this many marbles and then keep it there. Because if I push too much, what I found was when I like exceeded it, like say I tried to do more than I could physically, like with energy, or tried to read more than I could with my brain, then it would make me tired. Because turns out when you use your brain, that's also physical, that's also exertion. I didn't know that. So I was staying within this, and now I'm not this. I'm actually a little bit more. And the reason I'm a little bit more, maybe like 40 or 50% of 100, is because I would increase just a little bit. So say I had 20 marbles available to me. One day I would do 21, and then I'd rest. And then I'd be tired for a day or two, and then I'd notice, oh, look, I have 21 marbles now. Wow, who would have thought? And then so I have 21, and then I'd increase a little bit again, 22, and then I'd be tired for a few days, like normal. And then the next day, I'm like, oh, look, I have 22 marbles. So I did that over time. It took a long time, like 6 months of increasing to get to where I am today. So increasing and resting, but only just a little bit, So that's what they mean about pacing, is like making sure you're operating within like what your capacity is, and not overdoing it, not drinking an energy drink to push you, not drinking another coffee to push you, or sugar. The general recovery. Oh, okay, so you know what it is? It's August right now, and I caught COVID in late August when I went kayaking, and I've had long COVID since October. So October, was it the half of the month? Yeah, half month. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So it's almost been 10 months, and I don't know if you just saw that it was really hard for me to count numerically and list the months of the year in proper order. So cognitive issues. So that's 10 months that I've had long COVID. And some people are like, oh, so yeah, how's your long COVID going? Aren't you cured yet? And I'm like, well, I don't know. This is probably some designer virus. because it's been taking so long to heal. Like, why is it taking so long to heal? It's, so that is why I picked up the guanfacine. I have school starting in September, but I'm not starting it yet. I'm going to start it in a week, because I'm really going to put all my efforts into healing and sleeping and resting this next week. And by next week, if I still need the guanfacine, I'm going to try it. So, I'm resting and exercising and doing all those things. Eating well, too. So, yeah, I'm going to that's my baseline deadline thing. Is going to be in a week. And then I'll start taking guanfacine, and I'll tell you guys how that goes. Hair loss. Yes, I lost hair. It's growing back now. So I feel like because it's growing back now, I have these like little baby hairs. I call them freedom tufts because I'm free now. I'm free from like the majority of it. Freedom tufts. And it's growing back now. So I think because it's growing back, it's turning around, because I would have lost more hair, right? Oh, on a side note, I'm growing it, taking care of it so I can donate it when it's long enough so someone can make a wig out of it. Headaches. Yeah, so okay, I never had headaches before. Ever. I feel very lucky that I don't suffer from that. I could just be disconnected from my body. But anyway, so I have headaches now, and it's a very specific headache. It's like I feel it here, like it's a sharp pain right here, and they say the brain doesn't feel pain. So I don't know. I don't know if my brain is feeling pain and it's reaching out saying I need help. Or maybe it's the muscle. It's either here or back here. But when I get headaches from long COVID, it's usually in this spot and it's repeatable and consistent. So I've never had them before, and now I have long COVID. So I'm like, this is probably a long COVID headache, right? I'm just putting the two together. Okay, heart health. Okay, it says heart health here, chest pains, palpitations, dizziness, and POTS. Okay, so my heart has definitely been impacted because there were times where, I will just be sitting like this and my heart rate will go up and then I'll get really dizzy. So that's not like normal. That's not normal at all. I did have chest pains for a while, but my chest pains I felt like were more as if I have muscles in my chest area that help my lungs breathe. And so my chest pains were more like I think I was deconditioned physically, and then my muscles were just having a hard time breathing. It wasn't a chest pain from like a heart attack. It was more like, oh, I can't breathe. Okay. There's only a few more left, and I'm going to tell you what I figured out I had because the doctor thought I had CFS or fibromyalgia, but I don't actually because I went to a whole bunch of seminars and I listened to everyone's experience. I'm like, that doesn't sound like mine. Although it was really insightful to hear. So I went in with an open mind going, okay, I might have this. If I go to this session, maybe I'll learn how to deal with it. So heart health, mental health, hell yeah, my mental health was really affected. It says here stress, worry, and anxiety. Low mood and depressive thinking. Yeah, but I've been trying to be positive about it and trying to learn the lessons. What can I learn from this stage of my life? What can I learn from this season in my life? Because it's not going to happen. Long COVID is not going to happen again, I hope, okay? I mean, it could happen again. It could get worse, but I'm taking all the extra precautions. I'm even wearing a respirator at school. Okay. Stigma, prejudice, discrimination, and social isolation. So I don't have like the stigma or prejudice, but I do have social isolation because right now I just don't want to go inside. But I will go outside, but that leaves the other half. Like I'm not going to restaurants. That's okay. I mean, food's expensive. It's not even good anyways. We make better food. Yeah, I'm not much of a drinker, so I don't need to go out and meet friends at the bar. I actually don't drink alcohol. I can't remember when the last time was I drank alcohol. I think it was May, and yeah, it made everything worse. I had one drink, and no, never again. It says here you can utilize CBT. I have been doing that. You can call these numbers. I haven't been calling that, but I've just been taking the spirituality route with my mental health. Like, what can I learn from this? What can I take away from this? And practicing gratitude has really helped because it could be worse. I could have died, but I didn't. All right, post-exertional malaise. This is when, this is more of a CFS thing, I think, where when you do an activity, then if you push too hard, then you crash for a while. I don't have that. So what happens is I push just a little bit. I don't crash. I'm just tired for a day or two, but then my capacity increases. So I think honestly, I suffered from a viral sickness and I was deconditioned everywhere because I think it impacts the ACE2 receptors, and those ACE2 receptors are everywhere in your body. So that's my thing. Ringing in the ears. Yep, I get ringing in the ears. Taste and smell change. You know what's really interesting? My taste and smell change will. I have a really sensitive nose, and so I can pick out notes in perfumes, I can taste subtle spices, and I love flavor. Like, I'm not like a no garlic, no onion. I love it all. I love like extra garlic, extra onion, all the spices. I like making my own spice mix, things like that. But what's changed is like the the refinery. So for example, there's this cheap perfume that I don't normally wear, and I found that it's too chemically for me. But because I have long COVID, my nose, my senses have been like also deconditioned, and I can now wear that cheap perfume. It's like sort of, it smells not nice, more chemically than it is. Uh, I think it's called Brown Sugar by Aquilina. I should get it, but I don't want to stop the video. It's called Aquilina by Brown Sugar, or no, Brown Sugar by Aquilina. That's the one. So I can wear that one now. But I usually wear like very complicated scents that have many notes and that are made from real real fragrance, like distilled and everything like that. So the days that my long COVID is stronger, I can wear the cheap perfume, and the days when my long COVID is like in remission, I can wear the more expensive perfume. And this is so cool that I can, I can tell like, oh, it's the long COVID is like up, or long COVID is in remission. So those are the symptoms from the PHSA website, and they even include a picture with all of it. Okay, I'm gonna include the link so you guys can take a look. But yeah, maybe another day I'll talk about, because I have my own diagnosis. So maybe another video I'll do that. It's sort of long, and also talking on camera has made me a little tired. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm going to have a coffee. I'm gonna do a stretch, and then I'm gonna go for a walk. And then yeah, I'll talk about what they say in the diagnosis. Maybe that'll help someone. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.